Hey friend, Tina Fike here. I am the Coreblades chick, and for today's follow along strength session, all you're gonna need are a couple of dumbbells or kettlebells, a band, access to a wall, a chair, or a bench/plyo box. You're also gonna wanna have, of course, your trusty core blades or t-shirts, hand towels. At any point, if you wanna get yourself a pair of core blades, just comment below on any of my videos with the word core blades and I will hook you up. And also, if you want to gain access to my private membership program where you can get scheduled for you, delivered go at your own pace versions of any of my complete programs, comment below, coach me, and I'll hook you up. It's less than 60 bucks a month. You get access to my private community. You also get access to me for coaching, nutritional help, and so much more. So coach me below for that. Without further ado, we're going to dive right in. And please keep in mind that yes, I am pregnant. The first 5 or 6 programs that are coming out on this channel, I am going to be pregnant. I have pre-recorded them all. So I'm going to look about this size for the next couple of programs. Every movement I have chosen feels completely safe for me. I have clearance from my doctor. However, this program is not being marketed to pregnant women. That doesn't mean it is not safe. That is just not how I am marketing it. These programs are for any body, capital B-O-D-Y, that is trying to get fixed and get strong and just get back to living life, okay? So here we go. So let's dive into this warm up. We're gonna start in a bear position with breath, and we're also gonna be working on switching our pelvis from anterior tilt to posterior tilt while we're in the top of that bear position. So I'm in quadruped, all fours. I've got my feet against a wall or the back of the door. And a block is really useful here. Put it between your knees or your thighs. It's gonna help turn on your inner thigh, your adductor muscles, which help you connect to your low core and really feel those lower core muscles. And what I'm gonna do from this position, I'm gonna press away from the floor, get long through the back of my head and my neck. And as I go into my bear position, where my knees are just hovering over the floor, okay, from here, I'm gonna practice inhaling and exhaling. When I inhale, I want to really expand through my back, through my ribs. My lungs are up here in my chest, right? I wanna fill my lungs, expand through my ribs, expand through my belly, and draw that breath all the way through to the wall behind me. And then as I exhale, I'm gonna imagine that I'm inflating a balloon here, okay? And I'm drawing that breath from the bottom up out of me. Okay, as I inflate that balloon. So pretty forceful, long, slow, forceful exhale. And while I do that, I'm going to work on going into an anterior tilt with my pelvis and a posterior tilt, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna come into bear. As I inhale, I'm gonna posterior tuck my pelvis. And as I exhale, I'm going to anterior tilt my pelvis. Inhale, exhale, inhale, pressing away from the floor the whole time, long through my neck and the back of my head. If you need to drop your knees at any time, do it. And if you need to play with the positioning of that block, also you can do that. If a little wider feels better or in a more narrow stance, just play with that. And I want 5 to 6 good, slow breaths. Playing with that anterior, posterior tucking of the pelvis. Okay, now from here, we're gonna play with some hip shifting. So I want you to grab, I'm using a PVC pipe, but you can also use just a whole paper towel roll. Works really well for this. So you have something that you can slide your legs along. So I'm gonna put my feet up in a 90 degree here on the wall. Okay, and from this position, my feet are on the wall, right? And I've got this between my knees. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shift this one leg straight up while my other leg kind of draws down toward the floor, right? And I'm in a posterior tilt of my pelvis. And then I'm gonna switch. Okay? And I'm doing this with my arms just to demonstrate how my hips are moving, my pelvis rather. And give me about 8 to 10. Okay, and so what I don't want to see is a lot of movement laterally or side to side when you do this exercise. Straight up with this knee, straight up toward the ceiling, and this knee pulls straight down toward the floor, and then you switch. So I'm trying to isolate this movement of the pelvis. So we go from tipping our pelvis like a bowl to this lateral shifting. So we're helping to really connect with our pelvis and introduce more mobility to the pelvis, which is gonna help your pelvic floor tremendously. And it's also gonna help you if you deal with hip pain or lower back pain, even knee or foot issues. It's amazing how much can be tied to your pelvis. Okay, and then our last warm-up exercise is gonna help us turn on our hamstrings and our glutes. So I'm in the same position on the wall, and I'm gonna drag my feet down the wall, posterior tuck of the pelvis, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do some bridges and down, keeping a posterior tilt of the pelvis as I come up and down, dragging the feet down the wall to really feel my hamstrings, and I'm trying to really connect with my pelvic floor here. And continuing to practice that good breath, trying to keep that posterior tuck of the pelvis. And something you can play with here, if you struggle to really feel that, is to put a block between your knees here. And that can, again, we're turning on the adductors, we're helping to connect with those ab muscles. And something else you can try too, so I'm still in that posterior tilt, is as you come up, you can lift your heels slightly off the wall. As you come down, the toes come off the wall. Okay, but I stay in that posterior tilt. And that can also just help you connect to these muscles that can be really difficult to activate and turn on. And anywhere from 8 to 10, just kind of go until you really feel this firing and warming up. So we can go into our workout just connected to our core and to our pelvic floor. Okay, now we're gonna move into our first strength set. For this strength circuit, we're gonna do 3 exercises, lower body focus. We're gonna be working on our foot mechanics. We're also gonna be working on proper mechanics as we go down into a split lunge, which is extremely important, especially for anyone who's ever struggled with knee pain. If that's you and you're kind of scared of lunges and squats, I understand. This is gonna help us get you to a point where those things don't feel painful, okay? So stick with me, give it a try, I promise it's worth it. So I want you to have your yoga block. You could also do this with a book. I have some clients who just have larger feet. I have like hobbit feet. I'm not even 5'1" and my feet are tiny. So I'm able to fit my whole foot comfortably on a single yoga block. If you need to, put 2 yoga blocks here and put your foot in the middle of them, or stack them next to each other. If you need to, you could also, like I said, use a textbook. Don't use a step stool. It's gonna be too high and it's gonna be too hard for you to get full range of motion. Now, when you're first starting with this exercise, you can absolutely start with some support on either sides. I love my Mantis sticks. They're by Roundbox Fitness, same company who makes my Coreblades, love them. But you can also do this with some cheap, skinny PVC pipes from the store, broom handles. You could set chairs on either side of you. You could just have the back of the couch in front of you for stability. So many options. Make it your own. Feel safe. And I want you to also feel confident in this exercise. So I'm gonna get into my split stance, like 90-90 split stance position. I'm gonna first demonstrate with my support, all right? And I'm gonna take a good inhale and expand. And my front knee is gonna be bent a little forward, just over the midfoot. I've got a tripod of pressure joint behind the big toe, the pinky toe, and the middle of the heel. As I come down, knee goes straight down. I'm gonna slightly rotate this rear hip from 12 o'clock straight forward to 1 o'clock toward this front leg, just like we did with the slouchy lunges from last month, okay? So I'm here, rear leg goes straight down. I inhale on the way down, and then I'm gonna exhale and really press through that tripod on that front foot to come back to the top, okay? Very challenging. And so the other thing I want you to note, as you go down, I want that front knee, or front tibia rather, here, to kind of rotate inward toward this second toe, inward and knee a little forward over that second toe. And when that happens, your foot should pronate. So this arch should go toward the ground. If that's really hard for you and you have really high arches, roll up a mini band or even a sock and put it under this big toe to put it into a little bit of extension, and that's gonna help you get a little more pronation as you go descend down into that lunge position, okay? And we're gonna do more foot stuff in the future, but for now, that'll be something that will help you, okay? If you want to go a little further, make this a little more challenging, you can absolutely grab a band or something to that effect, get into your position and hold it directly underneath like this, okay? That's gonna help you get really upright and stacked as we go down and press up through that foot. Okay, relax those toes. The next step would be to load it with a dumbbell, and you can hold a dumbbell on either side underneath like so. Okay, and I'll be here, nice and tall, breathe in. Drive through that front leg, okay? And of course, if that just doesn't feel comfortable, you can absolutely hold dumbbells on either side or kettlebells, make it your own, okay? And I want you to do anywhere from 5 to 10 on each side, nice and slow. Here we go. I've already done quite a few on that side, so I'm gonna do this other side and then we're gonna move on. Here we go, press pause if you need more time. So I'm gonna get nice and tall. 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Really focusing on that tripod through this front foot. Relax those toes. Try to pay attention to how well that foot pronates or the arch comes down or flattens. And then you come back up and we become a little more supinated. But keep that tripod of pressure through the foot. Woo. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Drive through that front foot. Okay. Super. And then I'm going to do just a few on this other side just in case. Get set up. In. Drive through that tripod. I'm going to do just one more. Okay? And keep in mind too, that if you don't feel like you can safely get all the way down into that full range, that's okay. Don't go all the way down. You can also just come like halfway and come out of it. Or just drop a few inches and come out of it and build that up over time until you feel comfortable and safe. Okay, second exercise, we're gonna do some jumps, okay? But you can have band up high for that support. You could also use the sides of a door if you need to for support that way if you don't have a suspension trainer. But I'm gonna come down into my lunge position. Stay supported here. Little hop at the top, so it's not a big jump. And just give me anywhere from just do like 5 or 6 per side. Okay, and then other side, same thing. Super. Okay, take it easy. Last exercise of this set, we're gonna do a long lever bridge, and you can either set up 2 yoga blocks or you could use 2 textbooks that have a similar width. Or you can use a foam roller. I'm gonna show the yoga blocks and I'm gonna show the foam roller. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna lay on our back and you're gonna place your heels on your blocks or your textbooks. And if you're using blocks or textbooks, now the longer your lever or the further out you are, the wider your angle from those blocks, the more challenging this exercise is going to be. Now, I've got my feet flexed. Not super hard though. I'm gonna press down into the block and I'm gonna pull a little towards me while I posterior tilt my pelvis and come up into a bridge. And I'm just gonna hold. With the arms, you can do really whatever is comfortable. I can either be here, I can be here, here, and we're just gonna hold for about 45 seconds. Now, if you're using a foam roller, you're gonna place the balls of your feet on top of that roller. You're gonna press straight down on that roller, posterior tilt, and come up. I'm slightly pulling in, okay, towards my butt. So I'm really turning on my hamstrings, posterior tilt. I'm not clenching my butt cheeks or my glutes super hard. And again, we're just holding, okay? Either variation is great. And again, the longer my lever, the further away I am from that roller or from my blocks, the more challenging that's gonna be. I'm gonna say I've got 10 seconds left. Focus on your breath. 3, 2, 1. Super. And then we've got just one more round through that set. So you're gonna choose which variation you wanna utilize for your Jefferson lunge. I'm gonna set up my block. And I'm gonna use my dumbbell, okay? Press pause if you need more break time, it's okay. These moves seem simple, but they are hard when you do them correctly, okay? I'm gonna grab my dumbbell. Feel free to do this with just a band held underneath to stay upright and stacked. You can use your support sticks, something in front of you, chairs, you choose, okay? I'm gonna start on my left side. That tends to be my weaker side, pretty normal for most people. Make sure you don't do more than you can do on your weaker side. That's pretty important to keep in mind. And if anything, for a while, you're gonna wanna do 3 or 4 more reps on your weaker side than on your stronger side. And you'll feel that out over time, which side that is. All right, here we go. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Inhale, expand, relax the toes. 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Remember, if you can't go all the way down full range, that's okay. Go as far as you can. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 3 more. I lost count. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. I'm rotating slightly toward this front leg. Relax the toes. Really try to get that pronation of the foot. And if you have really high arches, I promise it gets easier. The pronation will open up, and I will share more on this channel over time of exercises and sessions you can do to help that more. Pronation is very important, especially for anyone that struggles with like knee pain or foot pain. The feet are so key, and the feet connect to our pelvis and our hips. It's amazing. Okay, we're gonna finish this out. So I've got my dumbbell and down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Breathe in, get your stack. Two, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 3 more. Down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. This is my 8th one. 2, 3. Awesome. Keep going if you're going all the way to 10. Otherwise, I'm going to go right into my plyo split squat hops. I'm here. I'm grabbing onto my suspension trainer, but feel free to use a band or the sides of a door if you just want that support. You can even just put prop your hands up on the back of a couch. Here we go. Anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 per side. And then other side. Stay stacked. Super. When I say stacked, I'm talking about the ribs and the pelvis. Take that breath in, expand, and just think about connection here. ribs, and pelvis. And we're gonna come down into set number 2, either the foam roller or the blocks. I'm gonna focus on my blocks this time. It's how I prefer to do this particular exercise. So heels are pressing down. The longer my lever, the further away I am from my blocks or my point, the point where my feet are, the more challenging. Posterior tilt, up, heels are down and pulling back. 45 seconds. And focus on your breath. Arms are doing whatever feels most comfortable to you. I like to have them up or here to really open my chest. And you can absolutely hold for less time, more time, play with it over time. You can even progress to where you're doing this with just one leg for 30 seconds and then the other leg. Lots of ways to make this more challenging. Okay, but for now, just double leg hold, 2, 1, excellent. All right, we're gonna move on to core blades. So grab your core blades or grab your t-shirts, hand towels, and let's dive in. You can also press pause and go ahead and do a third round of this. If you're feeling saucy or you're getting stronger, I highly recommend it. Squeeze that third round in as you have time and you feel physically ready for that. And if you need any help, these moves are challenging. If you're struggling, like with the split stance, comment below, coach me, and let's talk through it and figure out what's going on. Or get involved in my community where you can get more private coaching. Okay, here we go, core blades. In our core blade set today, we're gonna be going from runners to horizontal anti-rotations. And I'm gonna break those down for you here in a second, one exercise at a time. We're gonna go through each exercise for 8 to 16 reps, double count. If you wanna get yourself a pair of these steel blades, I highly recommend it. These are the size 1, 3 to 4 pound blades. You can check out the description below or comment below core blades and we'll get you hooked up. Otherwise, grab your t-shirts and hand towels, and I'll make sure to explain how you can do that as well. You'll just go a little faster, focus more on flow and pattern of energy versus, power and strength, okay? Without further ado, we're gonna go into runner. So here's my runner. Looks like this. My feet are hip width, if not just slightly wider than hip width. And I want you to note all of the crossing that's happening here in front of my body. I'm getting some rotation through my upper back, my mid and upper back. So as my arm crosses in front, my thumb is up on the blade and I go at a bit of a 45-degree angle here in front of my body, crossing, and I'm looking at my elbow or my bicep. And as I come across here, you'll note too, I'm in a lengthened position. So I'm getting a stretch through my lat on this side and my chest on this side as I cross with each rep. So I'm alternating lat and chest, lat and chest, lat and chest with that nice big rotational flowing movement. And I wanna make sure that that power is flowing from the ground through to my hips and my core, and then finishing through my arms. So a cue I like to use a lot with core blades is leg, body, arm, and it applies to just about every movement, hence core blades. We're trying to focus on transferring directional power through the core, okay? And then the muscles that are decelerating the movements, those are the ones over time that we are strengthening. We lengthen and strengthen, okay? So I'm crossing in front, double count, go for 8 to 16. And you'll note I have a little hang time here at the top of each rep with these runners, with the steel blades. If you've got the t-shirts, hand towels, totally different feel. You're not gonna feel that, but go for the flow and go for that reach. We're still working on releasing tension through the body and getting that flow. All right, good. Now movement number 2, horizontal anti-rotations. I'm gonna be my feet are gonna be next to each other in this stance. Same stance as with my runners, really. My hands are relatively close together. You want your elbows to stay kind of soft. And I'm gonna be throwing side to side. Note, anti-rotation. I don't want you to pivot and move your body. Okay, that is another exercise that we will get to in the future. But for now, we're resisting the body's desire to produce that rotation. So we're gonna turn the core on, right? And you'll see, I keep my feet pretty planted on the floor, but there's a little tiny bit of movement happening there as I shift the energy from one oblique to the other. I'm throwing across, throwing across. I'm getting some rotation through my mid and upper back and letting that energy go. Foot, hip, core, and finishing through the arms. Where a lot of people go wrong with this movement is they end up throwing too much from the shoulders. And so their shoulders get wore the heck out. So be really weary that you're pushing that energy from the ground up and letting it travel through your core. 2 and 1. No idea how many reps that was, but the goal is 8 to 16 double count. Okay, meet yourself where you're at. And we're gonna go into round 2, starting with our runner, okay? So I'm in this good foot position, and we're gonna push. Push and reach, push and reach, push and reach. Pushing through the floor, letting that energy come up through to the hips and the core, and finish in this lengthened position at the top. Rotating and lengthening. Lat and chest, lat and chest. So if I'm getting any power with these steel blades, I'm pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. Good, and we're gonna call that good. And I'm gonna go into my horizontal anti-rotation drill. So I've got my thumbs up, knees, my legs are soft always, so that that energy can travel from the ground up. Good. Try to keep your ribs and your pelvis relatively stacked. Good breaths in. Super awesome. I love that exercise in particular because it's really helping to retrain the core to do its real world job, which is to protect the low spine and to help keep the lumbar spine from overproducing rotation, because it's not designed for that, right? The low spine is designed to resist rotation. We want to produce most of our rotation through the spine in the mid and the upper back. All right, last round into our runner. And if you really struggle getting these reaching positions and trying to get that rotation to happen from the mid to upper back, definitely check out my overhead flexion test. Do a self-assess to start and try some of those posterior rib expansion breathing drills. Game changing. I promise. Almost there. And of course, if you want my help looking at some of those movement assessments, getting some more customized coaching, and so forth, check out my membership program. We do all of that in there. Information in the description below. Here we go. Thumbs up. Keeping your body forward so we're not sitting back and leaning back into that low spine. Keeping that energy forward and in the core. Nicely done. Awesome. All right, let's go into that last set. For our last strength set, we're going to be focusing on upper body, a little bit of push-pull, and this set especially is very powerful for correcting movement patterns in the upper body, okay? These movements don't seem like they're super hard at first, but trust me, when you do them correctly and you really focus on the mechanics, they're extremely challenging. Don't underestimate them and stick with it, because you're going to be amazed at how much more your body can do when you master these basic exercises. I promise it's worth it. Stick with me. Here we go. So exercise number 1 is going to be a one arm down dog, okay? So I'm here, I'm pushed away from the floor, and you can use a block if you want to between those knees. I'm not going to use one, but I'm here, I'm pushed away, I'm long through the back of the head and the neck. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get into bear, or you can stay in quadruped and just go back and forth in quadruped. That's fine too. But from here, I'm gonna push away from the floor into, I've got my feet on the wall, and I'm gonna push away from the floor, and you can do whatever you want with this other arm, but I'm pushing directly through the floor from this hand, okay? When I'm in this position, I've got my weight shifted more into the heel of my hand, and what I'm gonna do is I shift to this one arm, I'm gonna push that weight through the knuckles of my hand, okay? And I'm gonna go for length here at the back of that down dog, all right? So, and I'm gonna push through the inside of my hand, through my thumb and my index finger and the knuckles here. So, and we're gonna do anywhere from 5 to 8 per side, okay? This is a very hard exercise. So I'm here, good breath in as I push away, getting length here. And you can do one side at a time, or you can alternate. One side then the other. Just make sure you breathe. And you can come to your knees in between if you need to. Okay. And so I'm going to do a few in a row on the one side. Okay, and then do a few in a row on the other side, or you alternate. That's choose your own adventure, whatever works best for you right now, okay? And progress as you go. We're really going, so I'm heel of my hand here, push into the knuckles of the hand, long, long, long. Going for length. Straight back. Not rotating, and I'm staying long through the back of my head and my neck, all the way through to that down dog position, okay? Now, we're gonna go into exercise number 2, is a decline tricep extension. This is where you're gonna wanna have your chair or your bench, and you're gonna wanna have a pair of dumbbells, or you could do this with a single kettlebell, you could do this with a jug of water. Really, whatever you have on hand is probably gonna work pretty darn well. So, I'm gonna put the balls of my feet on the edge of my chair or my bench. From here, we wanna make sure we keep the low back out of this. So I'm going to, I've got my dumbbells here, I'm gonna posterior tilt my pelvis, and I'm gonna come up into a bridge. Okay, not a high bridge. I'm like 6 inches off the ground. My elbows are at my sides. From here, I'm gonna press up. My chin is up, airway is open. My elbows are gonna stay pretty stationary, and I'm just gonna hinge. And if you did last month's workouts, you'll recognize this one, because I want you to just keep progressing it. Keep your shoulder blades kind of protracted. So I'm pushed out here toward the ceiling. I don't want you down with those shoulder blades, okay? And give me anywhere from 8 to 12. And if you've been doing this one for a month, you should be getting to where you can do a little more weight here. Challenge yourself. Inhale, exhale. I'm on 8. And 10. Okay, last exercise for this set is going to be a push-up variation. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of variations on it. You've got 2 options here, really. You can absolutely stay elevated like we were in the last month's program and have step stools here. You could be on the edge of a couch, a chair, etc. And we're going to add a rock back to it. This is our easiest progression, okay? So if I'm here, I've got my feet against the wall. I'm gonna go into my push-up, because if you were doing elevated last month, you should be about ready to progress to hands on the floor, okay? Here we go. So elbows stay at my side. I'm gonna come down, breathe in at the bottom to expand. Weight is in the heel of my hand as I press up. I shift that weight into the knuckles of my hands and into my thumb and index fingers. Protract the shoulder blades at the top, and I'm gonna go into a rock back position. Really push through the floor and extend here. We're trying to get length, okay? Where most people struggle with push-ups is like these muscles along the sides of your neck, your upper traps just don't turn off. And you end up forcing your way through push-ups instead of using the proper mechanics and really getting strong, okay? That's why so many people get injured doing push-ups, okay? We're trying to correct that before we get more advanced, all right? So you can also do this. I'm gonna warn you now, this is a tough one for me to do in my current state. But you can get into your full push-up position as well. Elbows brush against the sides of your body. Everything stays the same. Heel of the hand. Inhale. I'm gonna have to go to my knees here, but push all the way to the top and into a full down dog, okay? So those are your options. Anywhere from 5 to 10, and let's go. Okay, I'm gonna stay in my kneeling variation. And back. And you can absolutely, if you are ready to be here, like I was just doing, I'm long through the back of the head and the neck, down into the heel of the hand, knees can come down, press up into the knuckles of the hand and the insides, plank, into down dog, push through the floor, long, long, long. Okay, so lots of ways to make this your own, anywhere from 5 to 10. Okay. All the way into shoulder protraction at the top of that push-up. And stretch back, pushing away from the floor. I'm gonna do one more, but press pause if you need more time. Super, okay? And just slowly, as you progress through, just keep working your way to where you can eventually do that full push-up variation into down dog, okay? Here we go. Back into our one arm down dog. So, I'm gonna go back into my bear or my quadruped, 5 to 8 per side, alternating or one at a time. Here we go. Round 2, into it. And I'm gonna alternate sides. Push away. I'm in the heel of my hand here, pushed away from the floor. I'm gonna push into the knuckle of the hand and the inside, push away from the floor. Long through the back of the head and the neck, open airway. And you can also do this, remember, in bear. Stay hovered in bear the whole time. Excellent. I did 6 per side. Feel free to pause, take more time. I'm going to go into my decline tricep extension. Here we go. Balls of the feet on the bench. Whew. Posterior pelvic tilt, press up and extend. Breathe in here, exhale, press up toward the ceiling. Good, and I did 8. As always, pause if you need more time. Otherwise, I'm going right into our push-up to rock back. Okay? I'm gonna stick to kneeling. Here we go. Anywhere from 5 to 10, friend. Use your elevated stools if you need to. Make it your own. Meet yourself where you're at. Protraction, knuckles, and rock back. Get that weight or wrist in line with your rotator cuffs, pushed away. Elbows brush against the sides of your body, into the knuckles of the hand. Press up, knuckles and inside of the hand. Rock back, push away from the floor, get into that stretch. Insides of the hand push away. Insides and knuckles push away. Good. And remember, if you're in that full push-up, you've got options here, because I can come down, go to my knees, press up, go back into my plank, down dog. So lots of ways to progress this. Remember that. Meet yourself where you're at. Super. All right, press pause if you need more time. Same if you want to do a third round of that set. For the purposes of today's video, I'm just doing 2, because when you first start out, 2 is a great place to be, but go ahead and do that third set if you're feeling saucy or you're ready to push to that third round. Otherwise, we're gonna go right into our cool down, my friend. And for that, for today, we're gonna do some beetle breathing. So we're gonna be in a child's pose position. And from here, in my current state, I've got a natural block here. But if you're not pregnant, you can place a block here between your knees or a rolled up towel. So you have something to really help expand your back against. Another option here is last month's, we're on our back and we have the block underneath the tailbone. If you really liked that one, feel free to use that one again. The point here is to down-regulate your nervous system and help your body to just cool down after working that hard. This is gonna help with your stress levels, it's gonna help with your recovery, and it's gonna help you, yet again, adapt and get the most out of these training sessions, okay? To take the time and do this breathing, so don't skip it. So I'm gonna come down, take a deep breath in, really expand, expand, expand. Long, slow, forceful exhale from the bottom up. Breathe in through the nose, expand. Give me 8 to 10 good breaths here. If you're someone who's really struggled with especially mid and upper back pain, this expansive breathing is going to be so healing for you and so helpful. You can do this every day. And if you need help figuring out the right breathing patterns for your body, maybe you'd like to do a one-on-one assessment with me so that I can prescribe a couple of specific breathing exercises for your body, because there are so many. Comment below, coach me, and we can chat through it and we can schedule that and set it up. Same if you want to get involved in my private community and my app delivered, go at your own pace versions of all these workouts, including more traditional gym-based variations that don't include core blades. I always include both variations for my monthly members, which is awesome. We do nutrition challenges and all kinds of fun stuff. So comment below, coach me, and I'll get you all that information. Just keep breathing. All right, friend, and of course, press pause if you need more time, but keep pressing play, keep moving forward. My goal is to help you fix your body so that you can get back to living your life, keep showing up, keep moving forward, and I'll see you next time.